And so the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to pay attention as you think about, now we're thinking, we're not inside yet. Pay attention as you can do it too. Think about something you love. Not a person, not a pet, but a thing, anything at all. Take your time. Now think about why you love it. You must know one or two things that is why you picked that. So think about that. Okay, now I'm going to suggest that you go inside, pay attention in your body, as you imagine being with the thing you picked. Notice how it feels when you're with it, or using it, or looking at it, whatever would be the appropriate way to say being with it. Describe that feeling. Maybe an image, maybe a word, maybe a phrase, anything that would describe how that feels. The next thing is going to be a question that I'm going to offer, but you are not to answer the question. You are not to try to figure it out. It's just wondering and being curious and asking yourself inside, and you might have to ask more than once, what about the thing I picked makes this feeling? And remember, the description might fit here. What about the thing I picked makes this warm fuzzy, for example? And wait for something new to come, different than why you said you love it in the first place.
Well, I'd like to share. At first, when I chose what I loved, something I'd never really thought of before, but it was dancing. And not just dancing with like another person, but fast dancing where a whole group is sort of dancing together. And so then I began to focus on dancing. And it kind of came in two steps. First thing I recognized was, oh my God, what I really miss is being young and dancing in a whole group with all the energy and et cetera, et cetera. And so it was like, oh God, I miss my youth. But that wasn't really the answer to the question. The question was, what do I love about dancing? So I spent some time with that, and what came was I love the togetherness of dancing, especially when a whole group is dancing together too. So that's what it was. It was togetherness.
Was that what you said when you said why you picked that?
No, I didn't know that it was togetherness that was it.
So that was the new thing that came.
Was new.
But you did have a reason why you picked dancing in the first place. You don't have to say what it was.
Yeah.
But you had something that you could say, well, I picked it, I love it because whatever. And this was a whole new thing. You hadn't thought of this.
This was new that I hadn't thought of before.
I chose my grandparents' lake cabin, a summer cabin that I grew up at. And I love it because it's such a beautiful place. It was very peaceful, and it was the best part of my life growing up. And that all was pretty clear. When I went back in to think more, or to experience more about that, two things came. The first was transcendent, that it seemed to just add more to my life. And then after that, healing came as the word. And that's really a different piece of things. In many ways, it was being there during the summer was a very healing experience for me.
And you hadn't thought of that when you started.
Not in that way.
Yeah.
That was an extremely important word that came.
When you knew when you got that, that was really it.
Yes.
Healing was a bigger piece.
Yes.